I love you. But now, I must destroy you.
Hey guys, so we just got the new trailer for Spider-Man 2, and I thought I'd discuss and break down some things that I haven't seen many people discuss, so let's get right into it. Now, first and foremost, the good thing about the trailer is we pretty much got confirmation that Harry Osborn is indeed Venom, and I am very happy about the fact that they kind of confirmed this, as I was tired of seeing theories about it being Mary Jane, Aunt May, Jonah Jameson. Like it really felt like that scene from Shattered Dimensions at the end when Peter finds out that he's the CEO, literally. So at least we got confirmation. Well, partially because at the end of the trailer, Venom says we're gonna heal the world. Same thing as Harry says at the beginning. So that's based on that assumption. But I think there's other factors as well that kind of confirm it. And Insomniac did say that it wasn't Eddie Brock. So everything points to Harry, and I feel like we're just doing the Arkham trick, which is just to give us the answer, but no one wants to believe it. Plus, I feel like adding Eddie Brock right now wouldn't make any sense, as you wouldn't have that emotional attachment, and like I feel like it would be a lot harder to make the story emotional. Whereas if you use somebody like Harry, it's much easier to make the story more emotional and to deal with like the darkness that Peter is gonna have to deal with, as I do believe that Harry is gonna die at the end of the game. As I think this is kind of confirmed by this shot right here where you see Miles and Peter talking, where Miles says, I'm just a phone call away, and they both have their masks off, so you know they want you to be able to see the facial expression and the emotion of the characters. So I do feel like that scene is right at the end of the game where they've just dealt with Venom and Harry died, and since Miles is leaving, because we know that Miles is going to go to university and he has difficulty writing his application, so I'm assuming that's at the end of the game when he's done it and he got accepted into the university he wanted, and he's gonna leave, and he just says to Peter that obviously if he needs him, he's right, he's always there for him, and yeah, so that's why I think that at least something's going to happen at the end of the game, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the death of Harry Osborn, which will probably lead to the birth of the Green Goblin as well. Now, moving on to the next part, I think there will be an escape from the raft as well, or at least the other prison, I forgot its name, but because based on what we saw in the trailer, we do see Martin Lee, but also the drones from Kraven stealing a superhuman. We don't know who it is in the cage, but it is the same type of cage that they used for Rhino, so we know it's somebody that has superpowers. So I think it could actually be Martin Lee as it's Miles chasing, so maybe he's trying to make sure it obviously doesn't escape. But it's more the reason why are we stealing prisoners from the raft. And also we know that it can't be Curt Connors as well, because we know that Curt Connors has never been imprisoned in the raft, and that he's with Norman Osborn at the moment, though at some point he does turn back into the lizard, but we don't know why. Now, we do know that obviously Miles is going to interact with Martin Lee again, and it is going to cause some massive issues, I think, between him and Peter, as Peter will definitely be against it. And I do think actually that's probably going to be at the beginning of the game, right before Peter gets the black suit, as he will kind of tell Miles to, like, obviously let his hatred go and to not take revenge, similar to the situation that Peter had with his uncle, where he confronted the person who killed him, but didn't kill him. So I do think there's going to be like some parallels where that lesson is going to be taught back to Peter once they try to get rid of the black suit by Miles helping him. But I don't think Miles is going to do anything major. He might try to kill Martin Lee, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. But I do think that Martin Lee is going to play an important role in the game, as in the comics, Martin Lee is the reason for the birth of Anti-Venom. So I do think we might actually see Anti-Venom at some point within the game, as I'll make another video about this, but I'll explain the origins of GR27 and how Venom plays a part in that, as there are several evidence about that, but I'll make another video about this. But I do think Anti-Venom will play a part in the game, as one big question I've been asking myself is since Kraven wasn't originally supposed to be in the game, who are we gonna fight as the minions of Venom? So are we gonna get like some Web of Shadows villains? Like everybody's gonna be infected in the city with the symbiote? That might be very interesting to see, but we have to play the game to find out, I guess. Now, we do know now the origins of the symbiote, where it will come from space, which is actually cool because we're following the traditional origin of Venom. But I do think that the person obviously that finds it is Curt Connors, and I do think that that might be the moment where he loses his arm, as we do know, like we can see on the uniforms, the guys are from Oscorp. So I do think like something's gonna go wrong, and that's a flashback probably of like it's probably gonna be like maybe the first cutscene that we see in the game where they find it, pick it up. We do not obviously Oscorp went to space. In the Miles Morales game, we do see that. Though I think what's gonna happen, and that's just based on this shot as well, is when they first put Harry into the tank, we're gonna find out that Venom has a lot of capabilities for curing people, but we're going to soon realize that obviously it either needs a compatible host or it can't fully heal people, like it needs to be in constant contact. So we'll notice that there's going to be a lot of like hatred, or like it's going to be fueled by negative emotions, similar to what Mr. Negative does, which I think actually, I'll make another video about this, but I do think that Venom is kind of the baseline of the GR27 formula, as both are very similar in terms of how the source of power comes from. But anyway, we'll have to see. And now, just based on the new shots that we got of Venom, I do think we might. So here's my opinion, because a lot of people have been saying we're going to see multiple people being Venom. I think Kraven is not going to be one of them. It doesn't make sense based on how they've described the character. But I do think what might be possible is that Peter becomes a version of Venom, as we did see based on the concept art and based on what we saw in terms of footage so far, that we saw one version of Venom that doesn't have the the same symbol, one that has no symbol from what we saw, for the image doesn't really show the chest, and then we see one image with the full new symbol, which I think that version is the final version of Venom. So I think that version, at least I know, is going to be Harry, but the one that's where the incomplete symbol might be Peter, and we might get that's where we might get actually the Peter versus Miles. And based on the trailer from the new PS5 they showed, it might just be the case that that's where we hear those lines where Peter says, what are those things?" And Miles uses his new powers to help Peter get rid of the symbiote. That might just be it, but anyway, we'll have to see. Anyway, those were just a few thoughts about the trailer and what could potentially happen within the game. I know this video was a bit different than usual, and do apologize I haven't been really posting for the past couple of months. It's just simply that I've been way too busy with work and other stuff. So YouTube really hasn't been a priority, as obviously I just do this for fun, but I have to put other priorities first. And yeah, but I'll try to post a bit more, as I do love Spider-Man, my favorite character of all time, especially in Marvel. So yeah, I'll try to post more and do other videos on it. I'll also post a new Horizon video as well sometime soon, hopefully. And yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good one. Bye bye.